Did I hit go live? I'm pretty sure I hit go live.
I just see upcoming. Let me just check.
It says you're. Oh, okay. I think it was slow. Here we go. There we go. I think it was just slow.
Say something, Brad.
Hello? Oh, I think I need to mute one of your guys' audio. Okay, here we go. Properties. Make this mono.
Say something again.
Hello? I think we are getting... Okay, yeah. Our audio should work now. I just want to see if people who are in the Discord call, if their voices are also... if somebody else can say hello in the Discord, or like just in this call right now.
Can you hear me?
Hello? I think we are getting... Okay, yeah. Your audio should work now. I just want to see people who are in the...
We're hearing the stream.
Yeah, well, we're getting a little bit of feedback, but that's fine. Okay.
Brian, tell us why you're wearing an SL28 shirt.
So I thought this shirt is really, really awesome. It is a shirt from Heart. And look at the back. So I'm a little biased for just specifically, maybe not all SL28s, but actually pure SL28 is very cool. We got that Team Wash coffee. I figured.
I think this is justice for Gucci Enda, huh?
Yeah, this is justice for Gucci Enda, which was robbed. No, actually, it wasn't robbed, but it definitely was. Yeah, it did get knocked out of the save bracket a little earlier than I expected. But anyway, for anybody else joining us today, what we're doing is we are going to be going over best and worst of 2023. I think for this stream, probably because we have a bunch of people on, we're only going to be on for maybe around an hour at most, or an hour and a half, depending on who people, who shows up. But we're going to go over our best coffees in a bunch of different categories. So we have about 5 to 7 different categories today. And we have all of the people in this Discord call, at least like our friends DC, Adil, Hello World, and I think even Coffee Reviews is in here. We can just go over what we thought was the best or the top picks, and we can have kind of a discussion for each of these categories. So I have a bunch of different categories, which I will let me copy and paste into a text box on OBS so you guys can see. And obviously the stream quality is hella scuffed as usual. But so these are the categories that I have put on. Or like I think these are the good categories. So we're basically going to kind of go down each of these. So and I actually forgot the top one, which is a premium pick. So I think generally a lot of our coffees seem to skew more. I mean, obviously, if you look at what is like the strongest coffee of the year, it's probably going to be a more premium coffee. But I thought it would be more interesting to also discuss all of the other styles of coffee. But I'll be very straightforward and say that there definitely are people who are also in this call who haven't drank some of these coffees. You know, we haven't tasted every single coffee in the world, so we're probably going to pick our favorites. And then second of all, obviously your personal preference is going to really play in here, right? Like we might not even have a Dank process coffee for some of these guys who are in here. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Oh yeah, and then all of you guys who are in the Discord call, we can just look at I guess like we'll just go down there, and you guys can like kind of input anything you want. But yeah, I think let's kind of begin and chat a little bit about just like premium coffees this year. Like, was there anything that stood out to you guys that you guys really like? Like, what? Let's just go over everybody's top few coffees. And then let me see if I can get or I have to fix something on the stream, so I don't know if somebody else could start really quick.
Adil, you want to go first?
Let's just go over.
Sure. I'll probably say premium coffee. Either Coffee Collective,
Somebody else
Takisi,
can start really quick.
either Finca Takisi
Mhm.
or say
Adil, you want to
Merlot.
go first?
Let's just go over. Oh, I think we're getting some echo.
Premium coffee.
Oh wait, I have to mute Caleb. God damn it! Hold on. There we go. Problem solved.
I think that's Caleb.
Yeah. It should work now. Wait, Adil, you muted yourself.
Somebody else joined. I think that's why. CJ, you can mute CJ as well.
Oh yeah, I need to set it so it auto mutes people, but I did not figure that out by the time we did this. So I'll just manually mute people if they join.
DC, you want to go next?
So Adil's picks are Finca Takisi. Okay. So what are your top picks? I'm just gonna write it down on the stream here.
Finca Takisi and say Merlot.
Okay. From which roaster? CC?
Finca Takisi from CC and then say Merlot.
Okay.
Actually, sorry, I'll also throw in Geisha Village 115 TPC.
Oh, why are we getting an echo? Hold on. Is it an echo from my audio or is it... Hold on.
No echo here.
Somebody says we have horrible echo.
No echo here as well.
Okay, all right. Maybe that's not a problem then. Okay, all right. All right, DC, what are your top picks? You can have multiple top picks.
Is this for premium process?
Premium picks.
Premium picks, like high price.
Yeah.
Price doesn't matter.
Yeah, price doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'll say, man, so many coffees on this list. One of the Pick a Chemist Geisha Village coffees, for sure. The two are like pretty similar. I don't have a big preference, like 115 or 121. Like for sure, those are awesome coffees. And then probably past, I don't know. I forget if it's say that's one over here, but that's the top five for sure. Yeah, I'll take say that's one the one that's
Okay.
about a month ago.
All right, so actually here I can share. Let me share in the Discord called my actual screen, so then everybody can see all the random stuff I'm typing on oh god, here we go. See, so okay, I'm literally just filling this out, and this is a live fill out on the text box. Okay, DC's picks. All right, who else wants to add? Anybody in our actual Discord call is allowed to add.
I definitely agree with Coffee Collective Takisi and also the Oyster Fur Larita Geisha.
I don't remember how to spell that. Okay, so Takusi Geshi Takusi CC. Okay, and then we have, which one was it? The Larita?
Yeah, the Larita.
Okay. Actually, I think I need to switch to headphones. God damn it! 1 second. We're getting a little echo. Production qualities, scuffedness as usual. Okay, hold on. All right, let's see if we have the headphones, if this will fix things. All right, I don't think we're gonna get echo now. Okay, Takeshi CC. All right, who else wants to add their favorites?
I would like to chime in. So I have two: the Pepe Hon from Apollon's Gold. That was my favorite Pepe coffee. And then I like the Jansen 107, the Panamanian Geisha from Apollon's Gold. That was my favorite Panamanian coffee this year.
Okay, so AG Pepe and AG...
Jansen 107.
Jansen 107. All right, cool. And then, all right. And then I can add... I'll just pick. I feel like I should pick something different because I was going to say Esmeralda, but everyone's picking Say Esmeralda, so maybe we'll pick a different one of our coffees. But two of my favorites this year were the Glitch COE. I don't know how to spell it, but it was like a COE number 2. And then I will also. Actually, I'm going to cope, and I'll just also say Esmeralda. And I think that's like a pretty... Oh, wow. We have so many great coffees. And I'm going to have to make the text smaller. Okay. Did anyone... I mean, there's I guess Caleb's in here if he wants to add anything. If anyone else wants to add anything. You're allowed to be a part of this. If you have your top 2. Oh, you're muted.
He said Cruz Loma.
Cruz Loma, say. Okay. Or that's it. Okay, all right. Cool. So I think these are, this is like a really good starting point. I think we can all just kind of talk about why you guys liked these, and we can kind of just go down the line, and then let's then go through the rest of the categories. And I think that would be a pretty fun stream for everyone. So these are the different categories, and where each of these picks we'll just talk about, why did we like each of these coffees and what stood out to us. And then we can kind of just go down the different categories, and then feel free to drop off the call if we'll just fill it out for you manually from the spreadsheet. But okay.
I can't hear Caleb because he was talking in the middle and it seemed like you couldn't hear him.
What?
Could you not hear Caleb while he was talking?
No.
He was talking in the...
Oh, it's probably because I muted him.
Oh.
I had to manually mute people, otherwise I think the stream would explode. Weird audio. Okay, well, anyway, I guess we can just go down the line.
Down the line of our picks, or just down the line of the
our picks. So let's talk about each of these coffees, and then we can then go down to all the different categories. I think that would be a good way to do it.
Cool. So I guess I should start then.
Yep.
Yeah. Takisi was perfumey per usual, but it's not the best Takisi I've had. So maybe it's just my preference for the perfume nature of Takisi Geishas. I think Say Esmeralda was much better than last year. Was floral, had vanilla stuff going, some minerality. So I think I would actually drop my Takisi and replace it with what DC picked as well, which I think I said but you didn't hear, which was the TPC Geisha Village. And I'm a sucker for Fruit Loops, and that was a Fruit Loopy coffee as fuck. We are 7 seconds in, so we won't get demonetized. But yeah, so I think TCC, Geisha Village 115 and Faye
115.
Esmeralda are my strong picks. Yeah.
Okay. Does DC have any preference specifically for 115, or just any of the GVs were good from TPC?
Yeah, so I think 115, that's like I think that first got released like end of 2022, I want to say. And it went with that like a huge shock factor. Like it's like a natural Ethiopian, tastes like washed geisha. And then the 121, like going off memory, was very similar, but it's hard to compare right there, like 9, 10 months apart. So I don't have a preference, but I think like, you know, I'll go with either. Like if you want to give me a bag of either, I'll take it off your hands right now.
All right, Hello World, your turn.
For the Lorita, the main thing that I liked about that was just the sweetness and acidity. It was like drinking a bottle of jam. It was just really intense in that manner. And the Takisi was just Takisi.
Mm-hmm.
Same as always. The first batch, I mean, from earlier this year.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because, like, in the past month, we recently tasted the CC Takasi. We also can totally discuss each of these coffees, too, like, as a group. It doesn't only have to be, like, one person as well. But I think of the coffees we've mentioned so far, I actually did not try any of the Geisha Village. It sold out, so I never got a chance to get that coffee. I also had too much coffee from TPC, but definitely Say Esmeralda was one of my favorite coffees of the entire year as well. And then I have only had a little bit of Takesi across the past few years, and in recent memory, it was Adil who brought that over, and it was like just I am still surprised that it's a wash coffee, or like it's so intense in terms of florality that I'm just surprised by. I'm like, it feels like there's something else done to it, but maybe that's just how amazing wash coffee can be, you know?
Yeah, it feels like somebody sprayed some perfume on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new illegal meta. Spray some cologne.
Yeah, because I did have, and I'll mention this when we do another stream on this stuff, but I had the Go Get 'em Tiger Takesi, and that was baked. It was all those beautiful florals and that citrus acidity, and then it just felt instantly flat. It seems like they had a second batch of it because we tasted that with Alex, and that was significantly better, but I don't think the roast was as strong as Coffee Collective's, and I think the Coffee Collective one was just much more delicate. It was much more complex, and there wasn't anything like I didn't feel the most confident with the Go Get 'em Tiger roast to be able to actually push it, but I did think the CC Takesi was an incredible coffee. Okay.
I agree. Yeah, Julian, do you want to talk about your coffees?
Oh yeah, I have to plug coffee reviews. Coffee reviews. We got to add that in there.
Also Sprudgy nominated.
Oh yeah. Also Sprudgy nominated. Hit the exclamation Sprudge, and the bot should actually send you to the right place.
Well, thank you for the shout out. Before I start talking about my coffees or discussing these coffees in general, I was curious, is that Lorita the washed or the natural processed one? Was there a natural processed one, actually?
There is a honey this year. There's honey and then washed. Hello World, which Lorita? Yeah.
I'm talking about the washed one. I never tried a natural one.
Okay.
Okay, interesting. So the only coffee that we've discussed so far that I haven't tried was the Picky Chemist Geisha Village coffees. Same with May; those sold out before I had a chance to try them. I also didn't try this year's Takesi.
There's a honey, yeah. The honey was the big one.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to try the Takesi this year, though. I've tried it in years past, and it was a very impressive coffee. I wasn't the biggest fan of that Lorita, if I'm being completely honest. I found the other geishas that I had from Leuchtfeuer to be better this year. As far as the Say Esmeralda goes, everybody's already said it. It's already one of my favorite coffees. I didn't technically review it until this year, but I was really impressed by it. I don't think it would have made my top 10 coffees of the year list last year, mostly because there were other Panamanian Geishas I liked more, specifically that Jansen 107. And the reason I like the Jansen 107 more is it didn't sacrifice any of the clarity, because Esmeralda was an extremely clean coffee, but it had a little bit more intensity to it, and I just liked the florals a lot more in that Jansen. The Jansen just offered a level of florality that I don't know if I've had from a Panamanian Geisha in the last couple of years, and that's pretty much my favorite thing to drink is Panamanian Geishas. So that one on itself kind of stood out. And the owner of Apollon's Gold told me when he sold me that coffee that it was his, like, a game-changing coffee, one of his favorite coffees that they've ever had. So I think it was really impressive. As far as the Apollon's Gold Pepe goes, that one was the one that was most reminiscent of the original version that Manhattan released a couple of years ago now at this point. So it wasn't quite as good, but it offered that wild sweetness that you don't really experience from any wash processed coffee in this day. So that one was, those were my two favorite coffees this year in the high end category.
Yeah, was it this one? Let me see. I don't know if this can show on this stream. Whoa. The regular, this Pepe Hihon, or I don't know which, you guys can like look at the Discord call, but okay, that coffee was great. I think this is kind of a mix, or like I didn't try the Jansen from AG, but I also would tend to classify that now Say's roasting direction does seem to emphasize sweetness a little more. So I think that clarity comment is probably correct. Whereas I think AG is just, I mean, that's why it's kind of a hit or miss sometimes with AG, is like it can be that max clarity roast. I really enjoyed the Pepe, this specific one, because it did provide me a lot of those really great, Kenyan fruity qualities. But there was a really unique lemongrass, like a yuzu. It was just like incredibly interesting to drink. And I felt like it was probably one of the strongest Pepe roasts that I had recently. I actually, unfortunately, my first time trying Pepe Hihon was the Manhattan 2021 release, and I say unfortunately, but because I got, I think, a very botched batch. It wasn't good. But recent Manhattan stuff has been much stronger. But a lot of my exposure to Pepe has been through Hydrangea and AG. So, but I really enjoyed. I was going to put it's in my top picks also, but I thought the other coffees I picked were a little stronger, at least for the premium stuff. Did anyone else try AG Pepe? I feel like you guys all bought AG Pepe.
I tried the Apollon's Gold. I think it was probably my least favorite of the Pepes that I've had this year, though, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm kind of curious, because I've had quite a few of the Pepe coffees. So which one did you prefer?
I think I liked the Hydrangea roast a little more, and my favorite one was the Leuchtfeuer roast of the Mejorado.
Great, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So like, obviously everyone's gonna have different preferences for things. Another coffee, since we already covered Esmeralda. A big reason why I liked Esmeralda was I just thought it was just such a floral and I got a lot of like vanilla florals. It was so sweet. Yet there were a lot of really nice complexities in terms of like acidity and things peeking through. But it was a coffee that I gave this coffee to very normal people, and they were blown away by it. It was like, they're like, whoa, am I drinking, some like flavored tea? But Yeah, we already talked a bunch about Say Esmeralda in many streams, so it's a very very strong coffee. Another coffee I did want to mention was actually Glitch COE number 2 is a Colombia I can't exactly remember, but it's been a while since I've tasted coffee from, I guess, a more like a bigger Japanese roaster, I guess, even though they aren't that big, but quote unquote bigger roaster that is actually roasting pretty damn light. And this was one of the cleanest and sweetest cups that I had the entire year. I think they literally have a note on their box that says super clean. I just thought this was a fantastic coffee. I'm also not fully awake, so I have no other things to add on that. Okay, but that was in my memorable picks, at least for me. Okay, Caleb, Cruz Loma number 3, CO number 3. Why is that? Is he still muted? No.
I think for some reason he can't hear you. I feel like.
Can he not hear me? See, I like have him. He's not muted. I joined late. What are we going over? Okay, Sil, do you want to have your favorite coffees? You're allowed
because
to.
It's an absolute banger.
Oh, okay. Now I can hear you. Now I can hear you.
No, I'm not muted. I don't know what the problem is.
Okay, now we can hear you. Now the chat can hear you.
Are you for some reason listening to the YouTube?
I can hear Brian. Oh man. Well,
Technical difficulties.
I'm not muted and I'm on headphones, so I don't know what the deal is.
Well, we can hear you now, so it's good. All right, COE number 3. Why is this your favorite? Or in your top picks? Can Caleb not hear me?
I have a feeling that he's listening to the YouTube stream. That's why he's like.
Are you listening to the Discord call? Because we're all on the Discord call. My voice is like a minute behind, bruh.
It sounds like Caleb needs to spend more time with Zoomers or some Discord.
Yeah, on that Discord. Okay. Technical difficulties.
Julian, I just had a question. Is this the Geisha Village? The Jansen was the JV one with the Matthias one. Was that the one that you picked for like your premium pick?
I believe so. I could double check. I remember reading the write-up on it, but I think it's that one actually.
Okay, so I'll add that to my coffee as well. I had one sample of it, and it was extremely floral. I think somebody sent. I bought like 20 grams of it. It was quite pricey, but it was very very good.
Everybody has TPC on their list. Damn. Okay, Sil says TPC Geisha Village 121 in Manhattan, Jansen X 819. Oh, Jansen X and then Jansen 819. Personally, not the biggest fan of lot numbers because it's hella confusing. At least it's like I don't know what that means. But I thought I haven't had enough Jansen to actually know.
I split that coffee with Sil, and it was a banger as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just have memory loss, I feel like.
Yeah, I think we all have memory loss.
I think what's happening is the coffees I had more recently are clearly staying in my head like a lot more, you know?
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's going to be like some amount of recency bias and all of that. So, okay, just on the call, on this Discord call, I'm just going to share all of our picks. Or like in the call, you can see the spreadsheet, and then on the stream will show like the overall picks. Okay, Caleb is back now. His technical difficulty problem's gone. So, all right, explain your top picks.
All right, if it's not working, tell me. Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're good.
Sick. Cruz Loma is an absolute banger because I kind of like put the coffees that I like the most in like two categories. There's like the expressive, like juicy banger coffees, which is like the, like the black currant Kenyas. You've got like the Slightly more like fermented stuff that's still like clean washed, like the anaerobic washed, like say Pepe, Geisha, coffees like that. And then there's like the Las Margaritas, Cerro Azul, like super floral, like clean, like delicate coffees. And I think Cruz Loma is phenomenal because it had like really, really expressive, loud flavors that a lot of times in the higher end coffees are like more subtle and like drawn back with florals. But it basically had all of those flavors like turned up to 11. No matter how you brewed it, it was always super expressive, super like vibrant. And underneath like peach and florals, you got like these like red fruits underneath, and it just like it was completely it was just super complex the whole way through while being really vibrant. So just a really unique coffee. Also, say Esmeralda was ridiculously good, but you know.
Yeah, that was a really strong coffee. So, yeah, not surprised that this is in so many of our top picks. Of course, probably some amount of recency bias, but like I think that coffee was great. So, does anyone have any? Do we want to have any honorable mentions in this area, or do we want to just go on? Because there are like a lot of different categories, and I think all of the coffees you mentioned were just. I mean, they're all great. They all sound great, or were really great. But I think everybody here has tried Say Esmeralda, and it's like probably up there.
Do you want to just add Sil's picks? Because I don't see it on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Let me add Sil's picks also. So Sil now gets a category as well. What did he say? He said TPCGV and Manhattan X. Okay, here we go.
Honorable mention is S&W MSG Infusion.
Hey, that we will save that for another day. We'll save like the meme coffees for another day.
I think that's dishonorable mention.
Dishonorable mention.
Dishonorable discharge from Hello World.
No bias at all.
You should add in a hydrangea Carmen washed. I think
I
I'm
never
the
got
only one
to
who tried it
try it.
here.
Great about that coffee.
Okay. All right.
Also, Hydrangea Letty this year was fire.
Hydrangea Letty was yeah, really, really good.
Really good.
Oh, I can't get the little Discord things to work. Oh well.
The only one I tried Carmen washed. It's so good for how cheap it was.
All right. Let's now move over to our dank processed category. So, okay, when I mean dank process, it doesn't have to actually be illegal coffee, just of maybe, let's just call it advanced processing coffees. What did everybody like?
Question for you, Brian.
Yes.
Does traditional Colombian wash processing count? I feel like no one else is doing that, you know.
You're allowed to have that, I guess. Or okay, we can also get rid of clean for a natural as a category. That's also allowed. But yeah, you
Should I
can.
go first?
Yeah, you can go first.
Well, the Zio count, because then I would put Zio in dank process.
Yeah, you can put Zio in here.
Zio, just so clean, so fresh and so clean. And I would then put like Hydrangea's Luna roast, like just so blueberry egg waffle, like very good clarity. I mean, still a Diego illegal, but I quite liked it, and I couldn't brew wrong with it. Like it's still aging well. I'm still making muffin coffee from it.
All right, DC,
Zio
your
and
picks.
Okay, wash coffees aside, I thought say Lost Origin was pretty unique. It like I think they make that thing in a lab, and it tastes like a little bit like the Diego coffees, like thermal shock, but it also has a lot of the like classic washed geisha characteristics. I thought that was pretty wild. Just I've definitely not tasted a coffee like that. and processing definitely lifts it up.
Okay, so say Lost Origin. All right, Hello World.
I don't think I have any picks for this category.
None. That's okay. Clean coffees only. Julian, did you drink anything weird this year that you liked?
I was drastically searching through my archive for something, but I found one thing that wasn't terrible. The Juan Peña anaerobic wash processed Ecuador from September was pretty decent for an anaerobic coffee.
All right. And then for me, I do drink a fair bit of weird stuff as well. But my favorite of these was definitely Lost Origin. I think Lost Origin was basically if you took a lot of what Say goes for in terms of cleanliness and really loud and bright flavors, but combine it with a little bit of that Diego goofiness, you end up with something that is that does have some of that yeast ferment process on it, but also but it enhances the flavors. I felt like Zio was pretty decent, but after tasting Zio, I mean, like I just think it's too new right now. So the pricing is what's skewing my perception of it. But I did think Zio was really amazing. I know some people had very mixed opinions on Hydrangea Zio, but Hydrangea Zio to me was like the first time I had Zio, and I was like, wow, it's like straight perfume. But I also don't personally think like Bill's roasting style is the strongest for Zio. Is what I'll say. But
yeah, I think September did a better job.
Mm-hmm.
Does like Juan Peña natural count, like the Say coffee? Because then I would put it in there. Or are we doing separate clean for natural?
I think we can do a clean for natural area. Yeah.
And I'll hold on to that.
Caleb, Dank coffees or just advanced processing coffees?
Yeah, I would say I really liked specifically one of the roasts of the Hydrangea Letty. Actually, the one that we brought to the SF Coffee Fest was actually like stupid good. I had both. I had a full bag of the September Zio and then 2 bags of the Hydrangea Zio. I think they were really interesting because they were so different. Actually, I think the Zio is good, but it's like mid for $200 per kilogram green. That's so expensive for what you actually get. Yeah, I think the Hydrangea Letty Zio is like fun. I'm really glad that I had it, but I'm not gonna buy it again. And then the last one was, I think this is recency bias, but the anaerobic washed Geisha from Say, the Pepe, is like, it's just past where I typically like for funk, but when I was brewing it on Clever Dripper, it was like hitting lower extractions than when I was doing it on V60, and it just turned into like tropical like papaya juice basically, and that was fun, as long as you didn't extract it way too high.
Okay. And then Sill's, what are Sill's picks for Dank coffees, if he has any? I have to scroll up on the chat. What does he say? Does Say anaerobic honey Burundi count? Sure. Anaerobic honey, okay.
Phil, are you still cycling? Why aren't you on the call?
Yeah, is he on a bike right now? Okay, all right, fine.
He's having a Sil moment. He always is tired.
I just got in from biking and my body is partially numb. Okay, all right, dude. Did 4.5 hours in 40 Fahrenheit. Okay, all right. You're allowed to skip this one. Okay, all right. So I think these are all really great coffees. I'm actually really curious. Julian, did you try Lost Origin from Say this year or last year?
I did not. I was unable to get it before it sold out, unfortunately. I was very curious about it, though.
Yeah, I thought this coffee was amazing. Caleb and I were in New York, and we got to try this coffee in their cafe as well as at Suited, and it really was interesting to taste that coffee on Filter 3.0 and also as a high extraction AeroPress filter brew. But it really, I think as you started to push the coffee, a little more of that yeast processing you were able to taste. But I just thought this was like a coffee that it's like, if you are a only clean wash coffee guy, you can appreciate the level of processing that's done on this coffee, where it's like, yes, you can definitely taste the processing, but it's not, it's definitely one of those processing it's done in a way that it is complementary to the coffee. So I think that's why so many of us picked Lost Origin for today. All right. Now we can go into the I think this one's going to be interesting. Let's do best wash coffees now. And we definitely you can have repeat picks. That's totally allowed. Adil, let's start off.
I was going to get my toothbrush.
Toothbrush.
I have to go. Just on a side note, like I just got asked to bartend tonight somewhere, but I've never bartended, so I have to go and learn all the drinks before in like an hour. So if you're in Milwaukee, come to the Muslim spot. Probably say Esmeralda and Takisi. I'll just go back to like crazy good wash coffees, and I'll add Rumudamo to that.
Okay, Rumudamo.
That'll probably turn up in my best value for money.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely have repeat picks on coffees because some of these coffees just like work really well for a variety of these categories because that's how strong these coffees are. All right, DC needs to drop soon, or is DC still on here?
I'm still on. I need to drop off in like 30 seconds. I'd vote for, say, Rumudamo, which is a washed Ethiopian, and Manhattan Duvernay Cifuentes, which is a washed Colombia Geisha.
All right.
That was also very good coffee.
That was actually a really strong coffee as well. Okay, Manhattan. All right, Hello World.
I'm going to go with the Picky Chemist Moondial Washed, and I'll also say the Cowboy Roast of the same coffee, and the Geisha Village that Mood Trap had in the middle of last year.
Okay. Julian.
What's the Geisha?
Oh, or which GV?
I thought.
Yeah, which GV was that?
I'm going to have to Google the lot number just a second.
Okay. All right, Julian, what were your favorite wash coffees this 2023?
All right, so my favorite coffee overall of last year was Morona Zamora, which was from Mood Trap. It was a washed Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to go with actually the Medina WX, a washed Colombia from Cofea Circular, just because that coffee is not a high-end coffee. I think it was just a Caturra. So that was my favorite non-high-end coffee.
Yeah. Okay, we can keep that also for the best value. Yeah, so and then my favorites this year, I feel like I'm an Esmeralda stan, but I will pick Barrio. Even though it's not like the cleanest wash coffee in the world, this was just where I had Barrio was had it next to Lost Origin, had it next to Stefan Muller, had it next to a lot of other like significantly higher end coffees. And this was just a stellar example of like, value and quality are not intertwined in that sense. And for $23.50, this was a coffee that tasted like it was significantly more expensive. I know DC and Adil feel the same way about Rumudamo, where the both of these coffees are just like amazing wash coffees. And hopefully this year's is better. I bought more of the same coffee as well. I just bought more of it because there's a new crop that just got, or new release for a December harvest. So I'm just gonna put Barrio because we already talked so much about Esmeralda. All right, Caleb, favorite wash coffees.
I would say Rumudamo's great, Barrio's great, Ezzy's great. To bring up ones that have not yet been mentioned, Hydrangea washed Las Margaritas was probably the most floral coffee. I mean, Las Margaritas pretty much. Both Las Margaritas and Cerro usually have the most floral coffees of every year for me. So that was great. And then Finca La Aldea. So Wash Pink Bourbon from Bots. That was an absolute banger. That one, and then Finca Finca, and then La, and then Aldea Aldea. Finca La Aldea. It's a Wash Pink Bourbon. That one was great.
All right. And then Sill's picks. I have to farm from the Discord. Jeez, where? Okay, I don't know where Sill put his thing.
Tochez. He said
Tochez. Oh, he picked Tochez. Why? What is the what is the reasoning behind Tochez? I'm kind of curious on that one. Okay, what is he saying? It was extremely high acidity and fruity in a very clean way. Okay. All right. I think we could say that for 90% of these coffees here. I'm trolling. Okay. All right.
I think it's because Spencer liked it.
It's because Spencer liked it. I don't think any of us are calibrated to Spencer. Tochez the goat pick. Sill waited 6 months to wait everyone before even stuff like Perlis has slightly more held cherryness to it. Alex from has been talking a bit about Maxi Garcia. So Maxi Garcia, I can add Maxi Garcia on my picks as well. I was gonna have Maxi Garcia on my best value. Maxi Garcia, I think in comparison to some of these coffees here, is definitely not as clean. It has like a little too much ferment, I think. Even when tasting it with like the Say team, they're like, this is probably at the very border of how much ferment we like. And I think Barrio has like not too much of that slight ferment on it. It was just like all the other flavors are like punched, in my opinion, where it was just a little stronger in every single way. And it was just cleaner. We will talk. Okay, all right. This guy is on his Maxi Garcia train. I did think Maxi Garcia was a really great coffee though. Okay, all right. Now let's do best for value. I think we can kind of keep some of these still on here, but let's do best for value. Best value coffee this year. Adele, you want to start?
Surprise, Rumudamo.
Say Rumudamo. Okay. Do you have any other ones? Or, I mean, I think everybody knows why Rumudamo is so strong of a coffee.
Clean, no bad brews, just no bagginess, which you get when you chokers. Let me think for a second. I'll get back to you. Let me think.
Okay.
While other people speak. Okay.
All right. I think DC left, or DC had to go, but DC said Stefan Muller. Yeah, see, you forgot about Stefan Muller. I was gonna put that. What were DC's best
value
picks?
for
Yeah.
Rumodamo and Manhattan Dubernay Sippin.
Also Dubernay for best value. Okay.
Sorry. Best value is one of the Tim Wendelbo coffees. They're $15 a bag. That's what he said. Any Tim Wendelbo coffee.
Any Tim Wendelbo. All right. Hello World. What are your best picks?
I'm gonna go
For best
with
value.
TPC Moondial Washed again,
Okay.
and Tim Wendelbo Waranu.
I can't remember how to spell that. Okay. Tim Wendelbo. Oh, okay. All right, Julian. Top best value this year for you.
I'm going to jump on the Dubernay hype train because I thought it was great. I didn't actually review it, but the cup I had of it was really impressive. I did like the Triangulo a little better, which was the Honduran Geisha. But the value picks, I'm going to pick the Wilman Mayo AAA, and it's from Sneet out of Tokyo. And then I'm also going to go with just the Halo Washed Ethiopia from Weekenders.
Okay. I don't know if you can copy and paste that in somewhere, so I can copy and paste it. I did not. I don't know how to spell that, the first part. And we can
I got you. I'll take care of it.
Julian, I'm curious. Did you get to try Rumodamo or no?
I did not. Nobody said anything to me. So when you did your entire Say stream, I was wondering why this coffee was as hyped as it was, because nobody said a word to me when that coffee was released. I just looked at it and said it's a washed Ethiopian coffee.
Damn it! I still just sent
Damn.
it. I thought you just got it. My bad. Next time.
Oh wait, or is it in the chat? Okay, I just wanted to copy and paste what you were the first coffee you mentioned. I think for best wash this year, I my two favorite were the Guccienda and also Barrio from Say. I thought these were incredibly expressive coffees for the money. Honorable mention also, aside from Guccienda, would probably be Stefan Muller. Although I feel like that literally was like a pricing error on their end, where they probably shouldn't have put it for so cheap. But that was like just classic like Panamanian Geisha for 35 or $40 for a bag. That felt like it should have been a much more expensive coffee for what it was. And then that's also how I feel about Barrio, and how I feel about Guccienda. Was like Guccienda probably for me was one of the first few coffees that like wasn't in that very classic Kenyan style, or like it was just insanely expressive. Same amount of expressiveness as Barrio. I was tasting cups of it. It's like whenever I taste these coffees, I'm like, oh, I feel like this should cost significantly more than what it is. It's usually due to like expressiveness and complexity within expressiveness. Like, oh my god, these flavors are really, really popping. Okay, Caleb, best value pick for this year or 2023.
I'm gonna go with the Finca La Aldea Barrio, and then I actually really enjoyed the Kagere from Tim Wendelbo. That coffee, it wasn't for everybody because it had a little bit of the savory Kenya situation going on, but it was like done in a much better way than I've tasted in like a few years. So I really, really enjoyed every cup of it.
Okay, and then all right, and then Sil has his picks here. TW, okay, Sudan Rebay, Say Adisu. Oh, the Adisu. I didn't have the Adisu, so I didn't remember, so I don't know. Okay. All right, so I think these are pretty straightforward. I just love that DC's like just has just any Wendelbo bag, $15 Wendelbo bag.
If Yaye counts as last year, I'll throw Yaye on there as well.
Yeah, we can throw Yaye. Yaye also was a great coffee. I felt like people. You were the one that was like you didn't like Yaye as much, right? As Lance did, or did?
Yeah, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it when I made it first, and now I think that the coffee has aged really well. It's super juicy and tropical fruits right now. So like, if anybody has Yaye right now, I would brew it. And still pulled a very good turbo shot. I've been making exceptional filters with it, and I just can't make a bad cup. So
yeah,
I definitely a change of heart with that coffee.
Yeah, actually, Julian, did you get any Yaye or Barrio this year or last year? Oh my god, 2023.
I believe I tried a singular cup of the Barrio, but I don't think I tried Yaye.
Okay.
I'll send you some.
Yeah, somebody send, or I guess Otto will send some Yaye to Julian to try. Yeah, I think, these definitely, Yaye and I think Barrio were kind of sleeper picks, I feel. Barrio was definitely like a sleeper coffee for me. And then I was like, I don't think I have it behind me anymore, but there was a Bots coffee that I wanted to also mention. But Bots is also... I want to, like, I really want to try more Bots. My problem with Bots is his bags are too big. Or I need to, like, get in on all these splits of Bots. Someone did ask about Bots in the chat. Okay, this is going to be a fun one. I know some of us are really into this, but let's talk about Decaf. Best Decaf of the year. And you can totally skip if you didn't have any. Adele, I think you didn't have any decaf, right?
Some matcha tea. Does that work? But I didn't have any decaf, though I've been keeping track because I do want to get more into decaf, and I've been hearing Rainbow Decaf from S&W is the one that people talk about a lot, and Diego and Vinny.
Yeah.
Diego and Wilton Benitez decafs are the ones which seem popular. So.
Did DC have a pick? Oh, okay. Yeah.
No.
I don't think DC had a pick for that. Hello World, did you have any good decaf this year?
Yeah, the S&W Rainbow Decaf was great, and the El Paraiso Decaf from Hatch was also a great one.
Did anybody get in on that the Rose like decaf set or like low calf set?
I never tried it. I feel
it was
like
so tempting.
Yeah, I feel like there are definitely we're finally at a point. Well, maybe in my very short time of existing in the coffee world, where a lot of the advanced processing stuff is definitely coming through to carry the world of decaf, which I think is a great thing. That's why we already have one El Paraiso mention, but I think we're definitely going to mention more El Paraiso. Yeah. All right, Julian, did you have any good decaf? I actually am very curious about this.
The only decaf I've had in the last, I want to say, like 10 years or so was when Manhattan sent me the box of coffees, and I did not know it was a decaf when I drank it, but it tasted very unusual. That's the only one I had. I think that was, wasn't that Diego's?
Yeah, it's probably
decaf coffee, I believe.
Yeah, the Diego decaf.
Yeah, either way, I wasn't a fan, so that's the only one I've had, and I didn't really like it.
So the decafs that I had, well, I definitely have to mention the Manhattan Diego decaf. Obviously, so this was a coffee where you could taste a lot of that thermal shock, like weirdness at the beginning, but then you would then taste the Castillo and the decaf bit. So I think it really depends on how you brew this coffee. It's a little finicky in my opinion. But I would say the best decaf that I had this year was from Blend In Coffee Club, which was this out of Texas. They have this decaf. It's like Los Naglas. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it is done with cascara. So they do the decaffeination with cascara, and basically it tastes like cascara tea. So I cupped this coffee, and I actually was quite surprised that this was a decaf. You have to be specifically looking for decaf, but I thought this was a very strong decaf coffee. It probably is not as decaffeinated or it probably still has a significantly more caffeine content than the Manhattan or even the Rainbow Decaf from S&W, but I thought it was just very interesting to drink. So this was these are still my top two. Decaf is still very unexplored, but we are seeing the processing stuff really carry the story. Caleb.
I had a lot of decaf this year that was pretty bad, unfortunately.
Yeah, you're a
even
big
compared
decaf
to, like,
drinker.
yeah, even compared to last year, it was like worse. I will say though, I had the best decaf of my life this year, and it was from a friend of mine who was competing in US Barista, and in regionals, he competed with Diego Decaf from Manhattan. And the roast that they sent him was phenomenal. It was far better than anything I've had from anywhere else. I think it was a good amount lighter than the normal one that they do, because they were giving it to him for competition. But it was it really opened my eyes to what decaf can be if the goal is something that's not consumer approachable. And it was like raspberry jam turned up to like 11. It was pretty crazy. But I've ordered bags since of the same coffee, and it has not done that. So hopefully we get to see some more of pushing that style a little further to the more broad market.
Yep. Did Sil even have a decaf pick? I don't think so. Sil, do you have a decaf pick? Sencha. Oh, okay. Like the tea? Am I missing a joke? Yeah, so I think the blend-in one is really strong. Or I would recommend everybody try Rainbow Decaf from S&W and the blend-in one. I think most people have tried El Preso Decaf from one or another roaster at this point in time. So, yeah. Okay, and then still just put Sencha because he's a joker. Okay, all right. Now, I think let's talk about emerging origins or like not traditional origins. I think this is always an interesting conversation to have in terms of coffees that at least enthusiasts would pick. So, Adil, do you have any that are worthwhile mentioning?
No, I was basic. I stuck to like Honduras. No, but that doesn't count. I didn't try anything from China, Indonesia, India. So I stuck to things that I would be value for money for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm terrible at this. But hopefully something pops up there and I can buy something, which is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Did DC have any here? Let me look at his list. I'm looking at the DC picks. All right, DC literally has nothing on here that could fit. Guys are spoiled. Hello World, did you taste anything interesting from other origins that are not what you'd expect?
I had an Indonesian from Apollon's Gold that was atrocious.
Oh.
Tasted like shoe leather.
Any good ones?
No, sir.
All right, not available. Julian, did you taste anything that was interesting?
Well, do Tanzanians and Bolivian coffees count in this category?
Yes, I think it's okay. I think we can have Tanzania and Bolivia, like, you know, obviously not like Takasi Bolivia, but I think you can pick one of those.
Okay, I have one for each then. The Acacia Hills Geisha that I had from, let me see the coffee roasters on that again. They were
Nomad?
Coffee County and Leaves.
Oh, Leaves. Okay. Leaves.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the Bolivian coffee, and a quick shout out to Jacob Zucker if he's listening. He said this early in the YouTube stream. It was the, what do you call it? Finca La Asunta, which was the Bolivia from Luminous.
Okay.
Bolivia isn't emerging. I didn't really think so, but it's not necessarily the most traditional.
Yeah, because I feel like for emerging, definitely it was right now. It's a lot of Asia, like Indonesia. I would also say like, you know, China, Taiwan, all of those types of coffees. We also could have Robusta and Liberica on here, but I don't really feel like many of the other guys would have tried those coffees. And I actually. Speaking of Luminous, I actually really enjoyed one of their Indian coffees. I can't exactly remember, but a lot. There were some really strong Indian coffees this year, in my opinion. For me, it's going to be the Glitch P4 Catamore Yunnan. I think this was basically, it's like China Letty Bermudez. It tasted very much of like that crazy processing, that perfume. When you grind the coffee, the entire room smells like craziness. This was just a very finicky coffee to brew because at the end of the day, it's a Catamore, and you would get a lot of just really weird tasting woodiness, you know, that you taste a terroir or whatever we'd call it, in the aftertaste as that coffee really, really cooled down. It's a coffee that you want to extract relatively low, and you also don't want to push it, and it's like, you don't push it any sort of way. Extract low temperatures, and only taste it when it is like pretty warm. And then I thought it was a really. Otherwise, I thought it was like fantastic for how much it cost. I mean, this was like such a cheap coffee in comparison to what else would give you the same amount of aromatics. Okay, Caleb, did you have any good coffee this year from emerging origins?
Similar to Decaf, it was kind of a worse year on that front for me personally, except for probably the Lumi anaerobic honey, and then the Kaveri Ratnagari honey, both Indian honey processed coffees, both showed up pretty well this year. And then honorable mention, I would throw to the Liberica that Robert made me try at Expo without telling me what it was. It's not that I enjoyed it in a traditional sense, but it had this like herbal clove, like basil thing going on, and like almost like spearmint. That was really crazy, and it didn't have a lot of the. I'm not sure what roaster it was. He just gave it to me without telling me what it was. But basically, it didn't have any of the. It didn't have any of the like rubber tire, like, or really earthy burnt kind of things that similar Liberica coffees often have. So whatever they did an amazing job with it in the style that it was. Again, not my thing so much, but it was basically done perfectly for the style, which is really interesting to see.
Okay, I am, and then Sil says Rabbit Hole, the Gueben honey. I actually thought it was a great coffee as well, for what it was. To me, this coffee had I actually had it at Mandarin Coffee Bar in Pasadena, and it was a lot cleaner than what I expected. It was really sweet, although there was, if I remember correctly, kind of like an almond note to it, like a nutty note to it. And personally speaking, I'm not the biggest fan of coffees that have like nuttiness to it because I have a tree nut allergy, so it really kind of reminds me of that. But otherwise, I thought that was it's like every year we're tasting all of these different origins getting better and better, especially from like India and China and Indonesia. I'm getting a bunch of Indonesia coffee coming in soon, so we'll probably taste that on a stream at another date. But yeah, I think these are. I'm not surprised that like if it's like that you would have like Adele DC and Hello World not picking some of these coffees up, right? Because like if you're gonna purchase coffee, you probably are buying stuff that like is, I don't know, best value, right? It's a hard thing to justify if you have like a Glitch P4 Catamore next to Rumudamo, for example. I would probably pick Rumudamo.
I did have some terrible leaderboard Catamores and Robusta, if that helps.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
Nothing.
But you wouldn't pick those, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then I think let's finally wrap up with our natural category. And then we'll end the stream because I just realized we've been on for a hell of a long time. Really want to thank everyone for like hanging out here. Okay, best natural this year. Clean for a natural.
Juan Pena Natural Geisha from Say and Picky Chemist Geisha Village.
Okay. I actually didn't remember the natural that much. TPC Geisha Village?
Yep.
Okay.
TPC Geisha Village and Juan Pena Natural. Like
Cool.
Juan Pena Natural for me was special because I feel like a lot of times natural geishas detract from like I would rather just have a washed geisha at that point. But this one added fruitiness without detracting. It was like bigger than the sum of its parts. And I'm sad that you don't remember.
Yeah. What were DC's picks for best natty?
Let me scroll up. I think he had Juan Pena on there as well.
Oh yeah. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he picked Juan Pena as well.
So he has the same example. So me and DC.
Yeah, Juan Pena natural. Yep. All right. Hello World. Favorite natural of the year. Clean for a natural.
My favorite natural was probably the Tim Wendelbo Tatmara Ethiopian. It wasn't particularly. It still tasted very much like a natural, but it didn't have any of the off flavors or super fermenty notes that I don't love in naturals. So it still tasted fully like a natural, but in a pretty clean, enjoyable way.
Wait, which one was it? Was it the Pakmara or which?
No, the Ethiopia Tatmara.
Oh, Tatmara. Okay, I don't know how to spell that. Here we go. The Tatmara. Tatmara natural. Julian, what was your favorite natural of the year?
It was the Karamo Natural Ethiopia from Father's Coffee. That one was about as clean of a blueberry bomb as I've had in 5 or so years.
All right. Okay.
Well, was this actually the one which tasted like strawberries, right?
I never tasted this one.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, this is to Hello World. Was the Tatamara the one which tasted like strawberries, Hello World?
Sorry, what's that?
Was this the one the one that you put in? Was that the one that tasted like strawberries?
No, I wasn't getting any strawberry from it.
Okay, then different coffee. Thank you.
I feel like this. Am I going to get hate for this? But I actually really like the Say Alita Natural this year. I thought it was super. I mean, I thought it was great for what it was.
The Say Alita Natural is my best espresso of the year, and
Yeah.
I know Sil just said it was bad, but and I couldn't actually repeat it, but it was my single best espresso of the year with the Say Alita Natural.
Yeah, I feel like I was going to pick this or one of the Engises. I feel like this was pretty clean for a natural. it also was at a time where I felt like Alita Washed was just not the strongest coffee this year. I feel like this was just like all the things. I also did pull this coffee on espresso a lot. Super, it was just like a fruit bomb to me. And it's because a lot of the other natural coffees that I've tasted this year are all in kind of that advanced processing natural world. It was really nice to taste a relatively clean natural in comparison to those coffees. I also do have an honorable mention. Technically, this coffee came out last year, at the very end of last year, but Verve Alita Natural Katuai, which I actually think, if I were to taste this next to the Alita Natural Geisha, I think a lot of people, I think this actually is better in certain areas than, I just don't think it was like the strongest year for Alitas, but in terms of overall natural coffees that I taste in any way, I think these are probably the cleanest ones of the two, and it's not surprising that they both come from Lamastis Alita world. Caleb, what are your picks?
I am 95% sure this is a natural, but it's the Bekele Balacho from Bots. It was sourced by Christopher Farron. It's delicious, and it was actually better than the Ingise that I had also from Regalia. It was good, but Balacho.
How do you spell that? Or do you want to just copy and paste it?
I'm choosing all the ones. Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. 1 second.
Put it in the chat. I'll paste it in.
Yeah, and then Stay Alita Natural was much better than the Washed this year.
Yep.
And that's probably it for the naturals for me.
Yeah, not surprised that we don't have too much to say about naturals. Especially, it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like everybody's now just doing like interesting processing. It's like anaerobics, many words processing something natural. I had more picks for the advanced processing area in this case. But I think of just more standard naturals, the Juan Peña makes sense. And then, of course, Alita. Sil, did Sil pick anything? Sil, I have to catch up on Sil's chat. Mundaya, okay. It's probably from Mood Chat. All right. So I think that's probably it in terms of coffees this year, for like best coffees, or coffees that we really enjoyed. So I guess, like, I don't know, does anybody else have anything they want to add, or it's kind of yeah, I don't know. Did anything stand out to anyone here?
I don't know how no one's mentioned the Hydrangea Hybrid Wash Geisha CGLE.
I actually didn't have that coffee. We need to have like the best. We'll have meme picks later.
Brian,
for another stream.
The Mandayo is TPC, not Mood Trap.
Got it. TPC. All right. Yeah, so I think what's been interesting looking at everybody's picks the past at least like the past few categories, a lot of what I would expect given what people like. So a lot of really cleaner coffees, brighter coffees. I also thought it was interesting, at least for, I think out of all of us, Julian's probably one that's tasted the most coffees that are, or from roasters that are out of the US or like not exactly like all European roasters. So I thought that was interesting. And then also, otherwise, like, I think we've all kind of split a lot of these coffees to in some sort of way. So it's been pretty cool to see that even enthusiasts that are like across the country have like some amount of calibration together. But of course, like everybody has their personal preferences. Obviously, a lot of people are not drinking like every single coffee that exists out there, especially when you need to buy it yourself. And then even on the professional level, like, you know, I'm getting sent a lot of coffees. Caleb's getting sent a lot of coffees. Like, we don't try every single thing in the world, but like of coffees we personally purchase, I think these are the ones that definitely stand out for us. I also thought it was worth mentioning. It was really funny that, or I think like 2024, 2025, probably going to have a lot more interesting decafs and emerging origin coffees, just looking at what everybody picked and where things were missing. But yeah, I don't know. Does anyone have anything else to add? It's kind of like this was just like a really chill stream, and I'm really glad we got this many people on here today.
I was going to say, maybe we just pick our favorite coffee of the year and say why at the
Sure.
end.
Yeah. Okay. How about let's everybody pick their favorite coffee of the year? If you could pick
I'll start. TPC Geisha Village. I've heard about natural Geisha. Geisha is tasting like Fruit Loops, and that was the first one that I got to taste like, smelled like Fruit Loops, tasted like Fruit Loops, made me feel like I grew up in America, which I didn't. So I felt like an obese child getting his sugar fix, and it was great. Diabetes for life. Let's go.
All right. Did DC have? I mean, we can pick for DC. I don't know. I'm looking at DC's chart. What do we think DC's favorite coffee is?
Probably
TPCGV. Rumudamo. Or I think he would pick TPCGV. Feels like.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think you'd go with TPCGV.
All right, TPCGV. Was your favorite coffee? Hello World. MSG Infusion. MSG Infusion.
Oh yeah, MSG Infusion all the way.
Why was MSG Infusion your favorite coffee of the year?
It was the only coffee that was properly processed with MSG, the way all coffee should be.
True.
It has the essential vitamin M.
Julian, if you could pick one coffee of the year, what was your favorite? I guess you already made a video on your favorite, but...
I did, but I already said the Brian Blast 2 was pretty good. Outside of that, though, second place is the Morona Zamora from, Mood Trap. So that's actually the first coffee I ever had from Mood Trap, and I was really impressed by it. I enjoy sweetness in coffee, and that coffee is one of the sweetest coffees I've ever had, and that's always really nice for a wash-processed coffee. So that one's my favorite this year.
I will be a David Barrio stan. So I think the reason why I picked David Barrio is because I think this is a stellar example of just value and quality not being interlinked in coffee, where you can have a coffee that it just can stand up against significantly more premium coffees, all of those different types of geishas and whatnot. I just could not believe how expressive this coffee was for how expensive it was. And I'm really excited for 2024 Barrio. Should be coming soon in the following weeks, or 1 to 2 weeks. Yeah, and then I am seeing people talk about Finca Debra. Say had a Finca Debra that you could only taste, that only a handful of us got to taste, and it was amazing. Otherwise, it all went off to Paris, which is a very sad thing, because we can't buy it here. But yeah, the Barrio was just a fantastic coffee, and as much as I want to pick Esmeralda, I was just more impressed. Like, what was more impressive to me was Barrio. All right, Caleb, favorite coffee of the year?
Yeah. This is not gonna really surprise anybody, but the Cruz Loma COE3 is just ridiculous. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to pick. I was a big Cruz Loma fan. I thought this was the cleanest presentation of a peach note you could find in coffee. I recently got to try the passenger version of it as well. But what was awesome about this coffee was it tasted like Lady Bermudez. It really reminded me of Lady Bermudez, but not with that synthetic processing. All right, Sil, favorite coffee of the year?
Sil left a few minutes ago.
God damn it. Okay. All right. Pete's Major E's it is. Okay. So, yeah, it seems like this coming year we should all try more TPC. I actually really want to talk a little bit about MSG infusion. I feel like the next kind of thing we're going to see is roasters tapping more into like post-infusion coffee. MSG infusion was really interesting because to me it was like one of the most round tasting coffees. You could hand MSG infused coffee to anybody and I think they'd enjoy it. I actually think it was one of the most approachable coffees around. But yeah, MSG infusion was great. I did not try this year. I actually did not get that much like TPC or Mood Trap at all. I've just kind of stuck to a lot of North American roasters. Well, North America and Japan this year. But yeah, okay. I think that's a wrap. We've been on for a fair bit, and I'm surprised this many people are hanging out with us because this is definitely like not the most like fun content for people. It's pretty, it's like kind of dry at times because we're just reading things off. But I like that we had a really interesting selection of coffees this year. Yeah, okay. I don't know when everyone else will be available, but we definitely should all hop on for the additional categories. Like we have like this. Yeah, this is like real beanhead hours. Yeah, I totally agree. But we have a bunch of other categories like Great Green. Here, I'll share this for the stream. This is I think the next few categories we're going to do, which will be the worst coffees of 2023. I think, well, maybe not worst. See, I always have to be like a little careful on. It's like I don't want to call roasters bad. I don't want to call coffees bad, but we will cover these at a probably a later date. I think for when we stream this, it's dependent on when everybody else is free or whoever wants to hop on the Discord call and have a discussion with us on these coffees. But we'll go over this stuff probably another weekend. Just depends on when everybody else is free. I don't know if you guys are seeing this as well, but like, yeah, Great Green, Mad Roast, Bin Juice, Hyped, Clean. I guess we can get rid of Clean for Natural, but I was just thinking like, there are just some coffees that like we all bought that were just not as clean as people hyped it to be. Worst of Panama. There definitely were some not great coffees from Panama. I can get rid of Best Value for Money. And then there's definitely like worst value for money. Like there were some coffees that I bought that were totally hyped as well. That I was a little disappointed with. But yeah, we'll go over these ones at another date. I don't know when. And it definitely, I think after doing this one, we're still getting used to like this type of streaming format. We'll have like a more organized stream as well. But this is mainly for people who are like hyper focused and actual nerds who are looking at this type of content anyway. So I feel like you guys generally have longer attention spans and you'll just go and look at all the different sections that we talk about anyway. But yeah, all right. Otherwise, I think we can all hop off the Discord call and I think we'll wrap up the stream. But, definitely want to thank everybody for being here. Thanks, Adil, DC, Sil, Caleb, Hello World, and of course, Julian for making a fun appearance today.
Greatest crossover since Marvel.
Yeah, dude, the cinematic universe is expanding. We are adding more and more characters to the cinematic universe.
Joint Sprudgy nomination.
Oh yeah. Everybody vote. Vote for me. No. Vote for me. But yeah, we're going to probably do some more of these types of collaborations, more of these types of streams. In this Discord, I think I'll just keep creating events, and whenever I do streams, chill time basically. Oh, somebody has asked why only Say and TPC and TW. I think so. I think for most of us, we all tend to prefer some of those like cleaner coffees, and really vibrant and cleaner roasts with really strong greens. So I feel like that's why, because they're the best music. Bless up. Yeah, we need to get that DJ college set up. But yeah, no, I think for a lot of us, we're drinking these much more transparent roasts, and we like cleaner coffees. Either clean coffees from the green or clean coffees from the roast. So for us, we tend to pick those types of roasters. And there are literally only a handful of roasters who are putting out these types of coffees. And for us, at least in the enthusiast community and parts of the professional community, those are the types of roasts and coffees that we all prefer. It's like if you're going to spend top dollar on coffee, you're buying coffees that align to what you personally like. And a lot of us we start with drinking a lot of these more fruity, dank stuff, and then you kind of go all the way up to like this cleaner coffee world. Although people do like funkiness. This coming year, I am definitely interested in Aviary to see where Aviary goes. And then yeah, and Brian Quell for the I did have some Flower Child coffees, but I think the problem with Flower Child was like he just didn't have the buying power to buy like Esmeralda and some of these other coffees. So like obviously if he's not gonna get that green like amazing Esmeralda, right? Then other roasters are gonna have an advantage over that. So we tasted Esmeralda from Say. There was no Say Flower Child. No Esmeralda Flower Child this year, for example. The last two releases that I thought were pretty good from him were the Dank was amazing. But I think it's pretty preferential to like what you're aiming for. All right, I'm catching up with chat here. Yeah, I think we should jump off now. All right. Well, all right. Thanks Adil, and thanks everyone. I think I'm gonna wrap up the stream now, at least the YouTube stream. And Abel Salinas is great. 2024, Abel Salinas, great coffee from Say. I am actually, I am surprised that the countercultural one was that good. Seems like I need to pick that up as well. So there is a video that Julian just posted on the counterculture Abel, but the Say Abel was amazing, and I really, really enjoyed that coffee. But yeah, okay, all right. I'm going to end the YouTube stream. I'll probably stay on the Discord call a little longer, and yeah.